because the tram is going to swing and sway. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If I don't know the answer to something, I'll make one up for you.
Sounds like me in a classroom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you're looking at either side of the tram car, you'll see a small hiking trail. That hiking trail does end at our first tower, and that's because it was the original service road to Tower 1. We did get service trucks and even cranes up that road. Speaking of Tower 1, we are coming up on it. It does stand 232 feet tall with an additional 40 feet cemented into the mountain, and it does lean towards Albuquerque at an 80-degree angle, the same angle the Leaning Tower of Pisa leans at, although ours was intentional. How looks are deceiving from the tram car. If you're looking at my side of the tram car, you'll see a large boulder perched on top of a hill. That's called Golf Ball Rock because it looks like a golf ball being prepared to tee off. Golf Ball Rock is twice the size of this tram car. And if you're looking out the opposite side, towards the top of that hill, you'll see what we call Cannon Rock, and Cannon Rock is the same size as the tram car. Be sure to keep an eye out for wildlife out here. We do have black bears, mule deers, bobcats, mountain lions, golden eagles, red-tailed hawks, turkey vultures, turkeys, roadrunners, and everyone's favorite rattlesnakes. If you're looking out my side of the tram car, you'll see this large flat rock standing vertically straight up. That one's called Fish Rock because as we cross over, you'll see a little mouth and a fin sticking out. Fish Rock stands 3 stories tall when standing next to it. If you're looking at the opposite side of the tram car, kind of towards the top of the water ravine, you'll see a stack of rocks. Looks like somebody just perfectly placed it there. That stack of rocks is called Totem Pole Pinnacle. Totem Pole Pinnacle stands 6 stories tall, and it's actually just one single rock that has been eroded over time. Coming up in front of us, slightly to the right here, is called Critical Point. As you can see, the rocks right here are a lot more jagged looking, a lot of rubble, and that's because we blew up this part of the mountain with dynamite to make room for the tram car. Now, if you're looking west or behind us, you'll see that large mountain in the distance with snow caps. That's called Mount Taylor. Mount Taylor is an ancient volcano about 70 miles east of Albuquerque. On the outskirts of Albuquerque, you can see some black shadowy hills. Those are called the lava cliffs. Those are ash left over from when Mount Taylor had originally erupted. Just north of Mount Taylor is that small mountain stump sticking out by its lonesome. That one's called Cabazon. Mount Cabazon is an ancient volcano core about 75 miles northwest of Albuquerque. Starting to get higher, you'll see there's no trailer road leading up here, and that's because the rest of the tram was completed by helicopters. It did take over 5,000
right there.
trips to
Oh, okay, over there. I see.
And 2,000 of those trips were dedicated just to our second tower. That's because Tower 2 was built at the base and then brought up in pieces. Tower 2 stands 80 feet tall with an additional 40 feet cemented into the mountain, and Tower 2 does not lean at an angle. Tower 2, for all you new tram riders, if you thought Tower 2 was the end, you were wrong. We're not even halfway yet. If you don't know whether or not you're afraid of heights, well, you're going to find out as soon as we pass it. We are on this side of the tower, so on the count of 3, I'm going to need everybody to jump so we can make it over these rocks right in front of us.
Hooray, we did it.
Now on this side, you can see why it's actually called a forest. There's a lot more trees and everything on this side than there is on the front of the mountain. canyons. This one here is called Big Canyon. Big Canyon does hold our highest point off the ground during our journey. At this point, we're approximately 962 feet up off the ground, or about 8 seconds down.
I want to know the counting.
We did. So we are just shy of the Empire State Building, and we can actually fit the entire Eiffel Tower under us right now.
I see no wildlife yet.
If anyone's wondering about rock climbing the Sandias, the answer is yes, you can. This cliff face in front to the left of us is our most famous cliff face to climb. We call it Eagle Boost Point. The trick to the Sandias, though, is that it is a decaying mountain, which means it's slowly falling apart. So you're not allowed to use any equipment on the Sandias. It has to all be free climb.
Oh, how exciting.
That's who found out how it was insects.
Alright, so we are crossing into the second of our 3 canyons. This one here is called Echo Canyon. Echo Canyon does have a lot more greenery to it, and that's because Echo Canyon does have a year-round waterfall and stream. Unfortunately, because of how high up we are, we don't see it, but this is the canyon that you do get to see the black bears during the warm summer months. Some of the greenery you're going to see up here is oak, spruce, pine, aspen, and bear grass. Just to give everyone an idea of how high up we are, the trees you're looking at are actually 150 feet tall. Now, a small known fact about the Sandias is because the feldspar located in the granite during sunset, it gives these rocks a pink orangish hue. With that pink orangish hue and the pine trees lining the base of the mountain, it reminded the Spaniards of watermelon, leading them to name it the Sandias. Although this mountain did used to be called the Turtle Mountain because from the east side, the silhouette of the mountain looks like a turtle laying on its back. So technically right now you're riding the watermelon tram on the watermelon mountain to the watermelon peak, but of course that sounds a lot cooler in Spanish. Now we are in our last and final canyon. This one here is called Domingo Baca Canyon. If you're looking at the opposite side of the tram car, you look towards the top of the mountain, you can see where the limestone layers meet the granite. Otherwise, where the darken meets slide-in, or kind of where you'll just see a really thick line of snow going straight across. That's called the La Luz Trail. The La Luz Trail starts at the base of the mountain and goes all the way to the top. It's 7.9 miles if you start at the base of the La Luz, or 9.2 if you start at the tram and cross over. It does take 3.5 to 5 hours to complete one way in the summer when there is no snow. When there is snow, it can take anywhere between 6 to 12 hours. Also, if you continue to look at that side and you look to the very tip of that limestone peak out on the point, you'll see a square structure sticking out with a little black window. That's called Kiwanis Cabin. It was built in the 1930s by the CCC, and in 1936 the Kiwanis Club took over. You can still hike there and take shelter there. Unfortunately, it has been damaged by graffiti and unwanted visitors. The cabin is made out of the same limestone that the mountain is made out of, and it's actually the third cabin to be built there. The first two were built out of wood. The first one caught a lightning strike and burnt down, and the second one caught a gust of wind and blew off the mountain altogether. Finally, they got smart and built the third one out of stone, kind of like the Three Little Pigs, and here it stands today.
Up there at the very top. Yep. Little square looking. Yeah. Way up there. Yeah.
This isn't on yours.
Yeah. All right, so we are approaching the Four Seasons Visitor Center, which is also the upper terminal. Actually, there may be some bumping as we come in a dock up here. Just don't let it catch you off guard. High Finance Restaurant has officially closed down, so the only building open for bathrooms is the one we're going to dock into.
Okay.
Jim's my upper terminal. Jim will let everyone out on the doors opposite side of me. Do want to thank you all for riding to the top of Sandia Peak Tram. Just be sure to watch your step when you go to exit. We will have to wait 1 minute for Jim to open our doors because we are on the same cable as the other tram car and it does dock a couple feet behind us. This tram car will probably be taking off in about 10 to 15 minutes, but you do not have to get back on this one. You can catch any tram car going down, and the last one down won't be until about 8:15 p.m. tonight, so you got plenty of time up here. If you're planning to go hiking or anything, please do not stray too far, especially if you're not properly equipped. We've already had over 8 search and rescues since the first of this year. Just because you think you can do it does not mean you can.
For real.
So are there plans to ever reopen the restaurant?
Yeah, we're completely tearing it down and rebuilding it. It's supposed to
Wow.
be finished next year. That bump is going to be coming up here shortly.